Hello everybody, how are you doing today? And welcome to the spring. It's this time of the year that all the planting and sowing gonna start full force. Today I'm gonna be doing my onion sets, so let's go. Well, first of all we need to decide where my onions gonna go. If you've been watching my previous video, you know this bed here next to the wildlife pond is gonna be my allium beds. I have some garlic growing here already and some of the onions gonna go here. So this is the half of the plan so far. The other part of the onion gonna go next to the chicken coop. You might have noticed this area changed quite a bit. I removed the fencing and reduced the chicken run. So I have some more space to play with. I started doing my flower border here, but that's for another video. But this area here next to the new chicken run, gonna be my onions. Nothing was ever growing here. The soil must be crazy rich after chickens being here for years and years. So hopefully no onion white rot in this bed. I got 3 packs of onion sets. Centurion F1, 2 packs. That's about, 50 onions per packet, so it's about 100. I hope I'll be able to squeeze it all here. The other pack I just showed you before is Stuttgarter giant, if I remember correctly. So hopefully the Centurion gonna fit in this bed next to the chicken run. As I said, the soil must be very rich. And the other pack, I bought another 50 onion sets. I think if I remember correctly, it's Stuttgarter giants. That's gonna go in my allium bed. But yeah, let's do the planting. The chickens are trying to chill out while I'm working. So let's leave them alone. All right, so here we are, my new growing area. I'm quite excited about that. I lost my whole allium crop last year to the onion white rot, so hopefully, fingers crossed, there's not that much of an issue in this area. I'll see how much problems I'm gonna get in my allium bed this year, the other one where I have my garlic and the other part of onions. But going forward, if this one gonna work out, that's probably gonna be my permanent allium area. But we'll see. First of all, we need to plant some onions. As I said, I have my Centurion 1 onion sets. I did try growing onion from the seeds before, a couple of years back, last year as well, I think. It's easy enough, but it's much easier to grow them from onion sets. So much less faff, and you don't have to start your onions in January. You have a nice head start already with onion sets. So that's what I'm going to be using this year. If you've never seen onion sets, if you never tried growing onions from onion sets, that's how they look like. It's just basically baby onions grown last year to a tiny size of a marble, maybe, no more than that. So you have quite a big head start while planting them. And it couldn't be more straightforward. Just plant them in the soil, leaving the tip of the onion exposed. All you need to do, you can usually see leftover roots coming from onion set. That side needs to go in the soil. The pointy side needs to go up. And it couldn't be simpler. Just plug them in and hope for the best. I will lay my onions on the soil to see how many I can fit in here and to check my spacing. And then I'm just gonna dig them in, and that's it. Before I start doing that, let me just explain. I'm gonna give them roughly 10-15 centimeter space. My rationale is if I get an onion the size of my fist, the 2 onions can grow next to each other. That's roughly 10-15 centimeter spacing. I might be too optimistic. I might not get nowhere near as big onions, but we'll see. Also, before planting your onions, it's worth checking all the sets if they are not squishy and soft. Anything squishy and soft, just discard it. Keep only the firm onion sets. Any signs of dodginess, rotting, anything like that, just discard the set. Okay, that was easy enough. I managed to fit all 100 onions here in this bed. The size of this bed is probably roughly 2 meters by 1 meter. It's quite tight, but I'm always quite stingy with my spacing, but that should be all right. And now we're just gonna plant them in. I'm gonna be using my dibber. I don't really need that. I dug that area a few days ago, so the soil is quite soft. But try not to push in your onions straight into the soil. Use your finger if you don't have a dibber or a stick. You don't want to damage the plate at the bottom of the set that the roots are coming from. That's the only consideration really. And after that, there shouldn't be many problems really. We're just gonna wait for the onions to grow. The only issue I come across here, in my area at least, are the birds, especially the blackbirds. They like to pull the young onions before they get roots and hook themselves in the ground. They like to pull them out, so every couple of days I just check around and see if any of them are pulled. Thank you, cockerel agree. I just check every couple of days if I need to replant any of the pulled onions back in the soil, but that's the only trouble I'm getting. Yes, that's the only trouble I'm getting here in my area. So now let's plant it. I'm just gonna make a small hole with my dibber. Exactly. And plant the onions. Okay, and just like that, all the onions in these sections are planted. I'm gonna get a watering can and give them a good soaking. The only reason really is to anchor them in the soil and give them slightly bit more moisture than there is in the soil at the moment. It's still quite damp actually when you dig it in, but that's gonna even up the surface and hopefully stop some of the birds pulling the onion sets. So I'm gonna do that now, and then we're gonna move to my allium bed and I'll tell you all about that bed in a second. And here we are in my second bed. This is my experimental bed. I don't know if you've been watching any of my videos from previous year. I got decimated by onion white rot. So I decided to perform a little experiment. I saw a bunch of mustard seeds here in this bed before the winter. They started growing, got maybe to 15-20 centimeter tall. And over the winter, the cold and the frost killed the plants. But the idea is that the mustard can disinfect the soil or at least reduce the onion white rot in the ground. That's why I planted my garlic here, and I'm gonna plant the rest of my onions as well. We'll see if that's gonna work at all. The onions I'm planting here is Stuttgarter Giant, also 50 onion sets. So we'll see how they're gonna perform. I have some volunteer potato here. That's my permanent planting. They always come back in this corner here. And also I have a baby plant of lovage. Hopefully that's gonna grow to a substantial size. I like the lovage in my stews and soups. But now let's plant the onion. You've seen what I was doing in the other bed. It's exactly the same process, so I'm not gonna make you watch it, and I'll catch you back here when I'm done. And here we are. 2 onion beds planted, about 150 onion sets altogether. I have for about 10-12 onion sets left. I'm gonna find some space in my garden in the main veggie area to plant the leftovers, but yeah, that's my onions sorted for the year. Now it's only waiting and trying to keep this area weed free. That's the main issue with onions. You have to keep the area weed free. They are very bad at competing with other weeds, and don't overwater them. Try to keep it on a slightly dry side to reduce the fungal infections like onion white dot. And that's all there is to it, really. I hope you're going to be planting your onions soon as well, but for now I think that's all I have for you for today. It's a very short video, but stay tuned. I'm gonna be doing lots of planting and sowing. I think the next video gonna be my new flower beds, so if you are interested in it, stay tuned. It should be coming up in a couple of days. But for now, as I said, that's all I have for you today. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time very soon. Bye.